Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Freedman, and our next guest up on Radio Entrepreneurs is a serial entrepreneur, Sam Zimmerman, CEO and co-founder of Sagewell Financial. Welcome to Radio Entrepreneurs.
Thanks for having me, Jonathan.
Great to have you. I understand this is not your first venture, so you want to tell our listeners a little bit about your background?
Yeah, happily. So I've been working in fintech for the past decade. I remember first using the word fintech and being like, this doesn't feel quite right. And now I feel like it's the only thing. Every company's a fintech. But yes, my path to entrepreneurship started as a high frequency hedger, where I thought a ton about risk. I moved $20 billion around the markets, made a bunch of money, but I didn't know what I was building. And so I loved the risks and I loved taking bets, but I was looking for kind of the opportunity to actually build something to know the thing that to have the bets kind of track to the real world. And so my first company was called Freebird, and Freebird was a riff on travel insurance. So we helped folks when their flights were disrupted. I personally kind of love to find sleepy consumer finance industries where the user's been forgotten, the margins are kind of off, the players are their websites look like they're from the 90s, and make a new product that kind of changes the game, that a new financial product that manages risk in a lot more user-centric way. And Freebird was my first go there. Well, what Freebird does is it's actually was acquired by Capital One in 2020, is whenever your flight was disrupted, we got your information beforehand and we'd reach out to you proactively while you're at the airport and say, hey, we see you're trying to go from Boston to LA. We know you're in Boston. Here's all the other flights from where you're at to where you're going. Click the one you want, click confirm, and walk to your new gate. We'll pay the cost of the new ticket. So we help folks get to where they wanted to go.
So really a seamless consumer play and like you said, proactive, and people must have really appreciated that.
Yeah, I mean, we help folks get to weddings. We help them make funerals. We help them make their kids' baseball games, important work meetings. Like whenever you feel powerless in that airport and you're scrambling and stressed and balancing 17 other things, that was really, really meaningful. And, the incumbents in this space, massive margins, it's a horrible product. They try to upsell you at the end with a scare tactic here or there. And so, yeah, it was an exactly like you said, it was
not only that, obviously a great idea. If Capital One came buying, and timing is everything, right? Probably at the ideal time for you as well. As travel's taking a dip, you guys are getting acquired. So perfect.
Yeah.
Hopefully exactly. It was at the front end of the pandemic.
It was, it definitely, the timing could have been better, but it was nonetheless an amazing exit and really exciting, I think, for all the folks involved.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about your current, then you pivoted and came up with the concept for Sagewell.
Exactly. So Sagewell, comparably, I wanted to find a sleepy industry where the user had been forgotten and make a new financial product that meets their needs. And so that sleepy industry is retirement finance. Folks who have left the workforce and who are spending down the assets they've made. Most folks don't think they're on the internet. They are. And while $100 billion last year went into about $100 billion went into fintechs last year alone, a fraction of a fraction, less than 1/10% went to the 58 million Americans living on a fixed income. And so that was the sleepy industry. And the new financial product, the user-aligned financial product, is My Paycheck. So Sagewell as a company is building the banking that our parents deserve. And our marquee feature gets our parents and folks like them their retirement income faster for free. So there's
So walk us through at a high level, just what the process or transactional aspect is. When you say it gets them their money faster, that's their retirement savings through you're serving as a banking intermediary, or I guess not a bank technically, but.
Yep. So our mission is to really leverage the insights from Silicon Valley that have been applied to Gen Z and millennials, and apply them to our parents and America's retirees. And so our first marquee product looked at the earned wage access movement. So that is a trend in payments where, you know, an Uber driver who finishes their shift can get their pay immediately. A pizza delivery person get paid immediately. Nursing shift get paid as soon as your shift is done. There's a whole host. There's dozens of companies now that are exist to help hourly workers specifically, but not only, access their money as soon as they're entitled to it. Now, what's kind of cool is that
so you're the Venmo for retirees.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Got it.
So
Excellent.
what we
Thank
do
you.
is it's Social Security, it's annuities, it's 401ks, it's pensions, and we, you know, they direct their deposits to our checking account, and then we make a paycheck. So a lot of these programs pay the last business day of the month. Some annuities pay every 2 months. And so seniors have to manage these really bumpy, lumpy, confusing payment streams. And so what we do is we say, hey, we'll combine all of them and we'll advance them. We'll pay you on the 1st and 15th. And then whenever the money comes in later, we'll catch on the other side. So you can get a paycheck just like you had when you were working. Balancing your budget is a bit easier, and you can have that money a bit sooner.
Fascinating. So you're really on your way to disrupting another industry, it sounds like, and really making it simple. So something that you've been oriented your entire working adult life, i.e. getting a paycheck in a regular increment, you don't have to worry about managing disparate streams of income. It all gets aggregated on your platform and distributed in whatever increment works for them, I assume, or, you know, maybe there are options, maybe there aren't.
Exactly. We do support a variety of different options. And what is interesting is that we think of ourselves like payroll and benefits for when our users are the boss in their retirement. So we help them make their paycheck. And then we also help them navigate a lot of senior specific challenges like, you know, Medicare or home equity planning or care planning, or, you know, the unfortunate events like the death of a spouse or a move to Florida. We want to be kind of the company that forms relationships with folks and helps them connect the dots across their retirement life.
So how far along are you guys? Are you a conceptual stage, or I mean, we're talking early 2022, and it sounds like you were involved in another entity up to 2020. Have you built out the platform and you're live and working, and people can go and use the product today?
Yeah, you can go to sagewellfinancial.com and sign up. We're actually in a really exciting moment where we're scaling. So we have built our platform. We'll of course be adding to it with the $5.25 million that we raised. We'll be continuing product development, and but we are aggressively growing throughout the course of this year because we've seen incredible interest and demand in the product that we built.
And tell us, you cite a figure of about 58 million Americans living on fixed income of some sort. Is that people that are post-working era? Those are people that are quote unquote retired. And is that who the target demographic is?
Exactly. That is who our target demographic is. Though I will say that, you know, because about 1 in 3 boomers had no retirement savings, and the pandemic forced 4 million more people out of the workforce into retirement. And so this, as life expectancies are expanding, this phase of our lives is really, really long, and it tends to be a little zigzaggy. You know, a lot of our retirees have a part-time job. They volunteer several hours a week. There's the phase of life of kind of you work and then you don't. It's becoming a little mushy in light of some of these trends. And so some of our users do have a job, but they're really kind of post their career.
So is the entire platform essentially self-service, or do you have advisors who work with people to say, oh, you've got, you know, X from this source of income, you're working part-time, and sort of figure out what the mix is? Because that would seem to me to be what a lot of people might struggle with, is like, you know, I used to make $3,000 a month. Now suddenly I have 400 here, 700 here, 900 here. How do I put it all together and make sure that I manage my cash flow effectively?
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant question. Actually, kind of is our second major feature. So we actually assign a specific person, like a Danielle or a Sam or a Chris, to every person who opens a Sagewell account with us, who learned your finances, knows the name of your voice. Another concerning trend in banking is that as banks are all going digital, retirees who are used to relational banking are left out. And so Our second major feature is, a person and a person that connects the dots across your retirement financial life. And so that's a really important part of reaching our user base and protecting them. There's been $3 billion of fraud that's occurred. And oftentimes having a human who knows their situation in the loop is a way to protect some of those fraudulent attempts.
Yeah, it's fascinating how many times you can have a conversation, not pointing out seniors, but how many times you can have a conversation about don't open things that are from people demanding information that you don't know. And it's funny how you see now PSAs by the government, the IRS will never send you an email and things of that nature. And invariably, probably thousands of times a day, people are opening up emails from the IRS, sending them personal information.
Yeah, we have that feature in the platform. We call it our security center. And we say weird text or email or phone call, just shoot us a note, upload a screenshot, and we'll help think it through with you. What we found in our user research is that a lot of retirees are digital, but they sometimes are a little uncertain, and they have to go ask their kids, and they feel kind of they're made to feel kind of stigmatized or otherwise kind of not digitally savvy. And so we wanted to create kind of a stigma-free part of our platform where we could protect our users' money, which is in both of our interests.
So just to round out sort of the range of services, you guys are managing the pool, so to speak, and providing access to in some sort of regular incremental basis. Is it bill pay as well? Do you help them on the expense side, or is it strictly to manage the income flows?
So we think of ourselves as the decumulation spend platform. So you have your financial advisor, you have your 401k, whatever. We make the paycheck. The paycheck goes into our account, and then we help you spend it. So we do bill pay. We have a massive ATM network. We actually help our users shop for some of their biggest purchases, like home and auto insurance, as well as making sure kind of they're not overpaying on their mortgage, which for seniors can be a little tricky to get refinanced. So we really think of ourselves as your financial advisor helps you make the money, and we help you spend it and save it and budget accordingly.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like a wonderful service, and it sounds like you guys are, relatively speaking, off to a great start. I mean, relatively because it seems new, but it sounds like you're already accelerating up that curve wonderfully. So
yeah, exactly. It's that moment in time. I think the whole team sees the market opportunity, sees the voice of customer. Our investors are behind us, and it should be a really fun 2022.
Wonderful. Well, we wish you continued success, and love to hear more as you continue along that steep curve up. Let's hope. Sam Zimmerman, CEO and co-founder of Sagewell Financial. It's been a pleasure having you on Radio Entrepreneurs. If people want to get a hold of you, want to learn more about Sagewell, want to talk with members of your team, or I assume you have live, sounds like you've got live people as opposed to just clicking here and clicking there. But if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Just head to sagewellfinancial.com. /press if you want to engage with kind of come from this interview. It's helpful for us to triage. If you want to make an account, you can just go to our homepage and click sign up.
Great. It's been a real pleasure having you on Radio Entrepreneurs. Sam Zimmerman, CEO and co-founder of Sagewell Financial.
Awesome. Thanks much.
And we'll be right back with another segment on Radio Entrepreneurs.